Key features of Product Import Export Pro. Import and export products in bulk effortlessly. Supports CSV, XLSX, XML, and JSON file formats. Schedule automatic imports and exports using cron. Easy product migration between Prestashop stores. Export product combinations and variants. Advanced filtering for categories, brands, and suppliers. FTP/SFTP integration for automated file transfer. User-friendly interface with quick configuration. So, hi everyone, this is a tutorial video for the Prestashop Import Export Module. In this video, we will see how this module helps the store owners to easily migrate product and categories from one Prestashop store to another without any complicated manual work. So first, we will see the installation and we will proceed with the configuration of the module. So, you can simply select the zip file you want to upload. For example, for this module, you will get a zip file from an open website, which you will upload from the backend of the Prestashop store. So when the installation is done, now you can simply select the file and you can upload the same on your Prestashop backend. Now module is installed, and now we will configure the module. So, first configuration page is General Setting, which is the section which helps the admins to control the module behavior and optimize the import-export performance according to store requirement. So, Module Enable and Disable field is the first option, which you can use to enable or disable the functionalities of the module. When the module is enabled, all the import and export functionalities, including the scheduled front task, work normally, and if the module is disabled, then it will be paused. So, now second field is Maximum Visible Columns. So, this option controls how many columns are displayed at a time inside Import Mapping Table. For example, if the value is set to 6, now only 6 columns will be displayed simultaneously. Now third field is Maximum Visible Rows. This defines how many sample data rows are displayed in the Import Preview section. For example, if the value is set to 10, then the 10 preview rows will be shown during the field mapping and validation. Now Import Batch Size. This option determines how many rows are processed per AJAX request during the import operation. Now we have the template files. So these are basically the sample files in which you can add the product or categories data, which includes the CSV, JSON, XML, and XMX content. Now we have the limit and speed. So first field is max records per downloads. This option defines the maximum number of records that can be exported into a single file. Then we have the second field as max upload size. This setting controls the maximum file size allowed during the import operation. For example, if the value is set to 50 megabytes, then user can upload import files up to 50 megabytes in size. Now we have the scheduled cleanup page. So, first field is keep files for days. So, basically this is the option which controls how long temporary import files are stored on the server before they are automatically deleted. Now we have the second option as the cleaned cron URL. This URL is used to automatically delete all temporary import files from the server. Now we have the export profile cron URL. This basically works similarly as the import cron URL. This cron task automatically runs all export profiles that are marked as the cron enabled. And same for the import profile cron URL. This cron automatically executes all the FTP-based import files that are enabled for the scheduled execution. Now we have the export option, in which if we want to export the files or categories in the format like CSV, XLS, or XML, you can simply create a profile and you can add the details. For example, profile name, file label, data type, file format, language, date range, record order, and you can also include the product combination in the file as well. Similarly, here we have a separate option for the cron, in which you can enable or disable this cron and send email on cron run option. Now we have the export destination. This option configures how this file will be exported and where this will be exported. For example, if we choose the file system, then the file will be saved to local, and if we choose the FTP and SFTP option, then it will export the file in the folder whose path has been added on this absolute path to a folder field. So simply, you can add your server detail, you can add the username, you can add the FTP password. Then you can add the folder in which you want to export the file into FTP. Here we have also provided an option to test the connection whether your FTP details are correct or not. Here you can choose the category category in which you want to narrow your export file. And similarly, you can also select the brand names, supplier, and price windows. Like this will only include the products within this price range. You can also leave this filter if you don't want any price filter. Now we are proceeding to the next step, which is the choose field. Now in case of the products, there are many fields like ID, reference, brand ID, supplier name, has combination, prototype, price, including excluding text and quantities, minimum quantity. So if you want to export all the fields, you can simply select all the fields, and in which you want to exclude some fields like ecotext, text group, you can simply remove that. Now we are proceeding to the next step. Here, you can see the option as the build and download. If you click on the build and download, your file will be created. Now our file has been created. Now you can simply download the file and you can see the detail in the same. It is recommended to save the profile before exporting the file. So now we will move to the import option. Here simply you can add the profile name, you can add the data type, for example, product entities, and you can add the file format like CSV, XLSX, JSON, XML, and you can select the language, you can select the import option. If you want to update the existing record, you can simply choose this option as Update Existing Record, brand ID, reference, and process. If you want to use the same number, then you can choose the false ID from the file. If you want the images to be downloaded before importing, you can simply choose this option. Now, similarly for the export, there are some big sources, for example, from your local or from your FTP, SFTP, then you can choose a file. So now we have proceeded to the second step in which you can map the column. For example, for the condition type, if you want to map this field to the another field, then you can simply choose that from this list. Then you will move to the third step and you will click on the Start Import. Then it will import all the product that has been added from the sheet. Now you can see that some of the products has been imported. So you can see that all the products that have been imported are showing in the product. So in case of categories, it will work in the same way. You can simply choose the categories instead of the product in the data type. Now we will move to the fourth page, that is the transfer loads. Now you can see that it will show the error log in case if some product or categories have been imported or exported. For example, this and this. We can see that 95 products has been failed. So this is how it works. You can simply filter, or you can also filter the same by adding the values. So this was a complete video of the tutorial. And